Hello, good morning, Pedagogians. Good morning, country. So we are going to tackle today as your asynchronous lesson is the terms and degree of a polynomial function. New new topic tayo ngayon kasi natapos din naman natin or tapos na yung first of natin sa first reading. Now we are going to study the terms and degree of a polynomial function. So may bibigay ako sa inyo mga function. For example, we have the f of x is equals to 2x minus 1. And another example is f of x is equals to square root of 2021. Okay. So for example, we have a function of x. So f of x is equals to 2x minus 1, and f of x is equals to square root of 2021. So this function, itong mga function na nakikita nyo, o polynomial function na nakikita nyo, that is natin na polynomial function siya. So, may malalaman natin, pag-aaralan natin ngayon, yung mga parts ng polynomial function, yung mga degree niya, coefficient, yung mga constant, ganyang leading coefficient. So, and then, pag-aaralan din natin kung paano ba hindi naging function or not function ang polynomial. Okay? So, for example, meron tayo ditong f of x is equals to square root of 2x minus 1. So, this one, so itong 2x minus 1 na ito, hindi siya polynomial or not polynomial function siya. So, ready yourself and also your notebook sa ating lesson for this day. So, number one example natin. So, if we have here this example of f of x is equals to 2x squared minus the square root of 3x minus 4x to the fourth over 13 plus 5. Okay, sorry. So this square root of 3x is square root of 3, pero hindi kasama si x doon sa 3, okay? Then x. The square root of 3, then hindi kasama sa square root or under ng square root si x, okay? So we have here 2x squared minus the square root of 3x minus 4x to the fourth raised to the 4 over 13 plus 5. So, paano natin malalaman? So, this one is a polynomial function. So, lagi natin tandaan, ang mga hindi polynomial function, so sulat nyo itong part na to. Kapag not polynomial function, lagi natin makikita ang ganito. Okay? So, not polynomial, halimbawa, nakakita tayong 2x minus 2. Okay? So, kapag may exponent na negative, so kapag may negative 2 or may negative sa exponent, that is a not polynomial function. Okay? So, parang apat lang naman yun na malalaman natin not polynomial function. Kapag may square root, kapag may negative na exponent, negative exponent is not a polynomial function. Okay? Kapag nakakita tayo ng negative exponent, that is not a polynomial function. So, in our function here, we have 2x squared minus square root of 3x minus 4x to the fourth over 13 plus 5. That is a polynomial function kasi wala naman tayong nakitang negative exponent, diba? Another one, para malaman natin na not polynomial function siya, halimbawa, we have 2x raised to 1/2 or 1/3. 1/3 na lang gawin natin. Okay? Raised to 1/3. Kapag may fraction ang ating exponent or meron tayong exponent na fraction, that is not, kasi not integer siya eh. Kailangan ang ating exponent is integer. Since ang 1/3 naman is not integer, so hindi natin siya pwedeng sabihin na polynomial function siya. So, this one, dahil ang example naman natin is, lang exponent naman niya, we have the 1 exponent, 0 exponent, 1 exponent here, 2 exponent, and 4 exponent, that this is a polynomial function. Okay? So, malalaman din natin kung polynomial function, sometimes decreasing or yung kanyang mga exponent decreasing. Okay? So, may mga tayo naman na may mga missing terms sila na hindi, usually hindi decreasing yung kanilang order. Then, another one is, kapag not polynomial function, we have the, halimbawa, we have x squared minus 2. Okay? So, meron tayong x squared minus 2. So, paano natin malalaman? This is not a polynomial function. Okay? Not pa rin to. So, kapag nagkaroon tayo ng variables sa radical or sa square root, sa radical sign natin or sa square root sign natin. So, that is not a polynomial. Since ang variable x natin, kahit x squared ba siya, di ba? So, mawawala, magiging 1 ating exponent kasi dyan, di ba? Kapag sinimplify natin. Pero dahil ang variables natin is nasa loob ng square root sign, nasa loob yung variables natin is square root sign, yung x natin nasa loob ng square root sign or square root, so this is not a polynomial function, okay? Dito sa ating example na 2x squared minus square root of 3x, yung x kasi natin hindi siya kasama doon sa loob ng square root, okay? Hindi siya kasama or wala siya sa loob ng square root. So, this is a polynomial function pa rin, okay? Dahil the variable x is not inside of the square root sign. So, kapag ang variable natin is in the inside of the square root, that is not a polynomial function, okay? Since our example is outside of the square root sign, this is a polynomial function. And the last one, so the last one is, we have, for example, we have 1 over x plus 2. Yeah. X plus 2. Kapag nagkaroon tayo ng pag nagkaroon tayo ng denominator. Pag nagkaroon tayo ng variables in our denominator, that is not a polynomial function. Okay? So, nakita natin, ang variables natin nasa denominator. Since ang variables natin nasa denominator, so this is not a polynomial function. Okay? So, ito lang yung apat na to na pwede natin tandaan para malaman natin or to distinguish if the function is a polynomial function. Okay? So, we have 2x. So, if we have a negative exponent, that is not a polynomial function. If we have a fraction exponent, that is not a polynomial function. We have the variables in the radical or in the square root or radical, so that is not a polynomial function. And we have a variables in the denominator, that is not also a polynomial function. So, in our given example, we have 2x squared minus the square root of 3x minus 4x4. 4x raised to the 4th power over 13 plus 5, this is a polynomial function. Now, if we now know that this is a polynomial function, so we're going to distinguish or to identify what is the So, the first part is, what is the degree? So, degree. Okay, we're going to find out the degree of this function. So, para malaman si degree or to distinguish or to determine what is the degree of this function, you're going to find which has a greatest exponent. Okay? Si degree, siya yung may greatest exponent. So, let's see how many terms we have in this sample. We have 4 terms, diba? So, let's find out who has the greatest degree. So, si 5, it has a degree of 0 because it doesn't have any, kapag constant, so sabihin ko na sa inyo, pag constant, ang degree niya or ang exponent niya laging 0, okay? So, meron ka siya x and raised to 0 pa yan, okay? So, 1 lang din naman yan. So, nagkakaroon kasi na ang degree ng variables niya is 0. So, variables tayo ha, degree ng variables. So, this will be 0. Bakit 0, sir? Kasi, we have the variable x dito. Kung lalagyan natin siya ng x, then raised to 0, that is 1. Then 5 times 1, that is also 5 pa rin naman. Nare-remain pa rin naman si 5. Then, this one naman, ang degree nito, since ang exponent niya is 4, diba? So, it has a 4 degree. So, ang degree niya is 4. exponent niya is 4. Si 4 pala, hanapin muna natin mga exponent niya. So, this one naman, ang exponent nito is 1. And this one, ang exponent nito is 2. Diba? So, malalaman natin kung ano ang degree ng function na yun, depende sa kanyang highest exponent. Because the highest exponent determines the degree of that function. Okay? Since we have the highest exponent of 4, it means that our degree, the degree of this polynomial function is 4 also. Okay? Nakadepende lang ang degree sa highest exponent natin. Okay? So, nakita natin, highest exponent natin is 4. So, ang degree natin is 4 also. So, the leading term. So, paano natin malalaman the leading term? Malalaman natin. So, lahat sila. Iba pa yung leading coefficient sa leading term. So, meron tayong tinatawag dito ng leading term. Si leading term, malalaman natin si leading term. Depende kung sino yung may highest exponent. Okay? Kasi kapag in-arrange natin yan, diba, i-arrange natin yan. So, kapag nag-arrange tayo, chronologically, so, ano yun? Mali pala. So, kapag mag-arrange tayo, kailangan na nasa pinakaunahan, on the first term must be the highest exponent. And these 4 terms na meron tayo sa function na ito is C4, ang highest exponent. So, the leading term natin, kung sino lang din yung may highest exponent, siya lang din yung leading term natin. So, kapag leading term, isusulat natin lahat, even si variables. Okay? So, ang leading term natin is negative. So, wag natin kakalimutan yung sign niya before. Okay? Ang sign ni 4x raised to 4 natin is negative kasi minus. So, that is also negative. Minus or negative 4x raised to 4 over 13. So, that is our leading term. Then, sunod naman is the leading coefficient. So, kapag meron tayong variables, halimbawa we have 5x, yan, 5x squared, si 2, that is our exponent, diba? Exponent. So, ito naman si 5, that is our coefficient. So, tinatawag nga dito numerical coefficient, diba? And then dito naman, variable. Numerical coefficient, then variable. So, dito naman, sa leading coefficient, yung number na lang ating kukuhanin. Okay? Number, kaya nga sabing leading coefficient, so nakita natin si degree for yung degree natin. So, the highest exponent is 4. Then, ang leading term natin is yung may highest exponent also, which is negative 4x raised to 4 over 13. Then, kapag kay leading term naman, ay kay leading coefficient naman, yung number na lang ng leading term ang ating kukuhanin. Leading, tama ba? Tama. Leading coefficient. So, ang leading coefficient natin is ito lang din. Ang leading term pala natin is, kaya ang leading coefficient natin, makukuha lang din natin siya kay leading term natin. Ang leading term natin is negative 4, negative 4. So, hindi na natin isasama si variables pati si exponent. Okay? Kapag sisulat natin si leading coefficient, di natin isasama si variables or we're not going to involve variables and the exponent. So, we have 4 over 13 na lang. So, that is the leading coefficient natin. 4 over 13. So, bakit leading coefficient? Halimbawa, meron tayong 2x squared, diba? So, yun to yung ating leading coefficient. So, dito sa naging fraction kasi siya, pwede natin siyang isulat na 4 over 13 x raised to 4. Yan. E di mas malinaw nakita natin na 4 over 13 siya, diba? But sometimes kasi, sinasama na si variables doon kay numerator. Nagiging 4x raised to 4 na siya over 13. So, depende lang din naman, same value lang din naman ang nagiging nakukuha noon. So, depende na sa halimbawa kung paano nyo isusulat. Pero, kapag nilagay natin na leading coefficient, siyempre, so, yung number na lang, numerical coefficient na lang yung ating ilalagay. Okay? Hindi kasama si lateral coefficient. Then, the last one is the constant. So, pag sinabi natin constant, ito lang yung number. Nag-iisang number, walang kasamang variables. Okay? So, So, in this example, we have a constant na walang kasamang variables. C positive 5. So, si 5 lang yung ating constant. So, meron tayong degree 4, which is our highest exponent, leading term, which is negative 4x raised to 4 over 13, and the leading coefficient na nagmula naman siya, or it comes from leading term is negative 4 over 13, and our constant is 5. Okay? So this is a polynomial function, and also if this is a polynomial function, we have a degree, leading term, leading coefficient, and constant. Okay? Okay, our next example. Ano ba yun? Anong sulat to? We have f of x is equal to hindi pala. F of x is equal to x minus the square root of 5x minus 5. So, kapag may ganyan sign, pi yan, diba? So, ang value ni pi is 3.1416. Common na ang ginagamit is 3.1416. Or sometimes kapag 2 decimal places, 3.14 na lang. Minus pi over 3. So, is this a polynomial function or not? So, this is a not polynomial function. So, tinan natin bawat term. Yes, si x, pasok siya sa polynomial function. Pero pagdating kay negative square root of 5x, hindi na siya pasok kay polynomial function. Bakit? So, it means this is not a polynomial function, okay? Dahil si negative square root 5x, meron tayong variables inside the radical sign. Okay? If the variables is inside of the radical sign, so it means na meron na hindi siya polynomial function. And aside that, so kasi nasa loob ng radical sign yung ating exponent, so magiging fraction na yung kanyang exponent. Ang variables pa natin nasa loob ng radical sign. Kapag sinimplify natin to, sir, paano pag sinimplify natin? For example, sinimplify natin siya. So, meron tayong 5. Diba ang exponent ng 5, 1? And also, ang exponent naman ng x is 1. So, meron tayong 2. Kapag ginagawa kasi natin fraction, yung radical, kung ano niyan dito, siyempre square root to, diba? Yung square root, nagiging denominator yung square root kapag sinimplify natin. So, magkakaroon tayo ng 5 raised to 1 half and x raised to 1 half, diba? Kasi, ganyan, sinimplify natin sa 5x. So, makikita natin, not polynomial function pa rin siya kasi nagkaroon tayo ng fraction sa exponent, diba? If we remember the rules, sasabihin natin technique na kapag not polynomial function, bawal ang may fraction sa exponent, and also bawal ang variable sa loob ng radical sign. Okay? So, this one is not a polynomial function. Okay? So, this is not a polynomial function. Then, another example we have here. So, ito medyo magko-compute pa tayo para malaman natin if this is a polynomial function or not a polynomial function. Okay? So, we have here 2x multiplied to the quantity of x minus 1, then multiplied to the quantity of x plus 1, then plus 2017. Bakit 2017 lagi? Okay. So we have f of x is equal to 2x multiplied to x minus 1 multiplied to x plus 1 plus 2070. Kung makikita nyo sa x minus 1 pati sa x plus 1, that is a sum and difference of two binomials, diba? So may technique tayo dyan. Kapag sum and difference of two binomials, kapag kinompute natin yon, squared lang natin si x, squared lang natin si 1, diba? Then ang sign sa gitna is negative. So kapag nagkaroon tayo x minus 1 times x plus 1, sum and difference of two binomials siya, diba? So, equal siya sa x squared. So, diba ito a ito B. So, pwede nating A or B, diba? This is the value of A, and this is the value of B. So, pwede nating sabihin na that is A squared minus B squared. A squared minus B squared. Okay? So, ang A natin is X. So, magkaroon tayo ng X squared minus 1 squared. So, X squared minus 1 squared, that is X squared minus 1. Okay? Laging minus yung nasa gitna kapag sum and difference of two binomials. Okay? So, na-simplify na natin yung sum and difference of two binomials. So, meron tayong 2x multiplied to x squared minus 1 plus 2017. Okay? So, distributive property, 2x multiplied to the quantity of x squared minus 1, diba? We're going to distribute our distributive property. So, gamitin natin distributive property, 2x times x squared, that is 2x raised to 3. So, rules ng exponent, diba? Law of exponent, addition ang gagawin kapag nagmumultiply tayo ng exponent, diba? So, then minus 2x plus 2017. Okay, na-compute na natin. So, tinan natin, yung ating, wala na tayong pwedeng like term, wala nang like term sa pwedeng pagsamahin, o wala na tayong pwedeng simplify. Wala na, diba? So, we have 2x raised to 3 minus 2x plus 2017. So, it is a polynomial function since the polynomial function, the degree. So, alamin natin what is the degree. So, since polynomial function siya, bakit naging polynomial function siya? Check natin. May negative exponent ba? Wala. So, it doesn't have any negative exponent. It has a fraction in the exponent? Wala din. Wala din function sa exponent. Then, wala siyang fraction ng exponent. Tingnan natin. Wala namang radical sign. And wala namang fraction, wala namang variable sa denominator. So, this is a polynomial function. So, alamin na natin what is a degree. What is the degree of this function? So, ang highest exponent natin is 3. So, 3, the highest exponent leads to the degree of 3. Okay? So, our degree is 3 also. Kung sino lang yung may highest exponent, siya na din yung ating degree. So, leading term. So, nasaan yung highest exponent na 3? Yung term na yon, that is our leading term. So, kung sino may pinakamalaking exponent, highest exponent, so that term is the leading term. So, ilang term ba meron tayo sa polynomial function na ito? We have 1, 2, 3. Basta ang term, pinag-iwalay siya ng minus and plus. So, ang may highest exponent tayo na 2x cubed. So, that is our leading term. So, may leading term tayo, meron tayong leading coefficient. Okay? So, ang leading coefficient natin is we're going to find it on the leading term. Coefficient. Hirap magsulat, ah. So, our leading coefficient, kasi ang leading term natin, 2x cubed. Cube na yung pinakamataas nating exponent. So, ang leading coefficient natin, or yung numerical coefficient ng leading term natin, that is 2. So, hindi naman siya negative, di ba? Positive. So, our leading coefficient is 2. And our constant. So, ang constant natin, yung nag-iisang term na walang variables. That is the constant. Okay? Or di kaya yung may 0 degree, ay 0 exponent. So, actually, in 2017, meron naman siyang variables din dyan. Okay? X nga lang, kaso ang kanyang degree is 0. So, any number raised to 0, that is 1. So, yung 2017, namumultiply sa 1. So, 1 pa din, 2017 pa din siya. So, our constant is 2017, yung walang variables na tayo nakikita. Okay? So, hindi totoong wala siyang variables sa kasama. Wala lang tayong variables na nakikita. Okay? Then, we have the constant of 2017. So, ito yung ating magiging sagot. So, this function is a polynomial and we have the degree of 3, leading term 2x cubed. So leading coefficient of 2 and the constant respectively is 27. Okay. Okay, so for now, that is our topic for now. That is one of our topic, terms and degree of a polynomial function. So I will give the assignment or activity na lang doon sa Google Classroom natin. Okay. So always remember na kapag malaman natin na hindi siya polynomial function, kapag may fraction, halimbawa we have the 2 and raised to 1/2, so this is not a polynomial function. Okay? 2x raised to 1/2, that is not also a polynomial function. Basta may fraction sa exponent, bawal yon. 2x raised to -5, so that is not a polynomial function because we have a negative exponent. Then we have the square root of 2x minus 4. So this is not also a polynomial function because we have a variables in the inside of the radical sign. But if we find out like this, 3, then 3, then the x is outside of the radical, so this is a polynomial function. Okay, basta inside of the radical, that is not a polynomial function. And we have, ano pa nga ba? Okay, in the denominator, if we have x squared over x plus 2, so this is not a polynomial function because we have a denominator of x or variables in our denominator. So remember these 4 things to determine if the function is a polynomial function. Okay? Goodbye, class. Thank you.